So to get these connected, the power cable here plugs into the back of the left monitor. And then the red and black cable that comes with this, take one end of that and you'll see it has these wires exposed. Those are going to plug into the back of the monitor here. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Douglas, and in today's video, I'm going to give you a quick setup guide for the Presonus ERIS 3.5s. Now, these are really popular, and there's a ton of videos out there reviewing them, unboxing. I'm not going to do all of that in this video because you can find that these have been out for a little while. Very popular because of the price point. These were less than $150 for the Bluetooth. I think the non-Bluetooth are around $100. So really reasonable price, and they sound great. Pretty small. I wanted something that was compact. I've been borrowing some JBLs for my home studio here. They were very large. I think you probably saw them in the background of some of the videos I've made recently, and I needed something that was just a little bit smaller, a little bit more compact, and so I decided to just jump for these for now. I am going to be upgrading to more expensive studio monitors here in the future, but I also want to kind of consider being budget friendly because I know a lot of you guys are just getting started in computer audio and recording, and you want something that's going to be inexpensive, but also sound good. And I think this is a really good compromise when it comes to that. So again, there's a lot of differing opinions on these. I've been using them for about a month and I love them, but I'm curious to see how they sound in this space. So in today's video, I'm going to be taking these out, setting them up, just running you through a quick setup process, how to position them, and I'm also going to be using the Iso Acoustics little stands. And I designed this studio desk with these risers on the left and the right side of my monitor here for the specific height of me sitting at my desk and having the speakers be at the correct height. So I'll talk about that here in a minute, as well as a couple other positioning tips. I am by no means an audio expert, so I'm sure I'm gonna get comments on, no, you need to have them positioned this way or that. So I'm looking to you guys, those of you who are professional audio engineers, to kind of give some tips and stuff in the comments as well, because you know better than I do. I am not an engineer. This is my home studio. So we're gonna get rocking and rolling with this. I'm gonna open these up. I've already opened these because I bought these about a month ago, and we go down south for the winter. So I'm not here at my home studio. I've been using these for about a month down there, and I had them shipped back. And so I'm excited to see how they work in this space. So it's pretty straightforward what you get with them. The two speakers, and they're really, really good size. So this is my head. And if you can see, they're not even as large as my head. And they fit perfectly on the Iso Acoustics ISO-130 stands. I'm gonna assemble those in this video as well. We're gonna throw those on there. It just gives you a little bit better response out of these. There is some acoustic tuning, high-low on the back, and I'll talk about that here in a minute as well. So anyway, we've got the two speakers. It comes with some little rubber pads. I'm not actually gonna put those on. In the manual, it shows where to position those on the bottom of the studio monitor. So if you're not gonna get the Iso Acoustic stands, you're gonna wanna use these because you don't want the vibrations of the desk or whatever that you're setting these on to mess with the frequencies of what's coming out of the monitor. So again, I'm not an engineer, but I've read a lot about it and just picked some stuff up as I've gone. So you do get some cables as well. Just a quick rundown on these. This red and black one has these little just wire hookups. Now these connect the two speakers together because the way this works is this is the active monitor, and then the right side is passive and powered by the left one. So you hook those together with these cables. I'll show you that here in a minute. You get an 1/8 inch to RCA. So if you're going out of a laptop or something like that, you could go directly from the 1/8 inch to the RCA in the back. It also comes with an aux cable because in the front here, you have an 1/8 inch audio in and an 1/8 inch headphone. You have the volume knob and the power. I like that they include the aux in because I actually used that couple of times while I was down south. So anyway, we're gonna put these up on the desk, and I'm gonna throw the ISO stands together, and we're gonna get these connected and turned on. The one with the power switch and the volume knob goes on the left. The other one goes on the right. So to get these connected, the power cable here plugs into the back of the left monitor. That goes in the bottom there. And then the red and black cable that comes with this, take one end of that, and you'll see it has these wires exposed. Those are gonna plug into the back of the monitor here. We have these two little tabs here, a red and a black one. They're spring-loaded tabs that you just pull back. You kind of have to use two hands for this. Pull it back, slide those wires in, and then it crimps it when it comes back. So we're gonna do both of these at the same time, the red and the red, the black and the black, and then we let those go. So this is what it looks like all hooked up there We have the black wire going into the black side, the red into the red side. This is what's going to send the audio signal from the left monitor over to the right monitor. And so we're going to hook this other side up to the right monitor. I'm going to do that in position up here. Now, along with the aux input on the front of the left monitor, you also have left and right RCA inputs on the back, as well as 1/4 inch inputs. That's what I'm going to use with my Focusrite interface. We're going to go out of the 1/4 inch outputs 1 and 2 on the back of the Focusrite. These are connected to the main monitor knob here so we can control the volume. I'm gonna get that hooked up, and that'll be the last piece before we turn these on. Get them positioned, throw them on the ISO stands, and give them a test run. All right, so I've got the power hooked up, the 1/4 inch cables going from outputs 1 and 2 on my Focusrite into the left and right 1/4 inch inputs on the left monitor here. And that's gonna provide the sound from my Focusrite, which is connected to my computer, and that's gonna send the signal to the monitors themselves. The last thing I'm gonna do before we turn these on and test them out is I'm gonna put these ISO stands together. These are the ISO 130s. So if you're curious which ISO acoustics stands work best with the ERIS 3.5s, these work perfectly in my opinion. So when it comes to positioning of the studio monitors, you want to make sure that as you're sitting at your desk, that the drivers of the monitors are about ear level. And what I'm going to do is, because I designed this desk so that they would sit at ear level with the smaller Iso Acoustics stand. So the Iso Acoustic comes with 2 different sizes in terms of the legs. So we have the short and the long. The short ones are what we're going to use here just to give this a little bit of height to raise those up so the drivers are at ear level. These are really easy to put together. There's 2 pieces that then get connected together with the short or the long legs depending on your need. The base that says Iso Acoustics on it goes on the top, and then the base that looks like a little bit of a drone platform goes on the bottom. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the legs and we're just going to stick those into the base here, seat them all the way in. They're going to sit right down into that base. So we've got the 4 posts inserted here. And then we're going to take the top plate and we're just going to set that right onto there, line up all of the posts into the holes, and then we're going to give it a good squeeze, get those down. So these short posts or legs, it only raises it maybe 2.5, 3 inches tops. And that's all I really need with this studio desk here. Now, when I was using these down south, I used the longer legs because I didn't have the risers, and so I needed to bring them up to that ear level. Now, the Iso Acoustic stands are a little bit of an investment. I think these were probably as much as the studio monitors were themselves. But the nice thing is with the ISO 130s, I think these are one of the most inexpensive versions of the Iso Acoustic stands. So you're not spending a ton, and it's really going to isolate the sound of the monitors and not pick up any vibrations or frequencies off of your desk. So I've got these put together. I'm going to put the monitors onto them, and they're really grippy, which is nice because the monitors really stay in place. So what we're going to do is I'm going to set this one up on here, and we're going to put this one on here. There we go. Now, one more tip around positioning is when you're sitting centered at your studio desk, you want to have the monitors tilted just a little bit. So picture a triangle that goes from monitor to monitor and then connects from the monitors up to your ears. And you want to intersect those 2 legs of the triangle that come in. So I'm going to spread these just a little bit more. You want to kind of, as a general rule of thumb, have the sound coming along those 2 sides of the triangle into your ears. So again, I'm going to bring these out just a little bit more. And I'm sure all the audio engineers are cringing right now because that's probably an extremely simple way of aligning your monitors. But at least for you in your home studio, it's a quick way to make sure that you're getting at least somewhat of an accurate sound out of your monitors. Let's turn these on, give them a test run. So to turn them on, there's a little switch on the front of the monitors. And then what I'm dealing with is, because I have the Focusrite as my audio interface, I have an output volume knob on the Focusrite, and then there's also a volume knob on the monitors themselves. So I'm going to put the monitors at about half, bring that up to about half, and then I can use the knob on my Focusrite to bring in that sound. Pretty cool stuff. They sound pretty good. I don't have any acoustic treatment in this room yet. That's kind of the next step in my studio build process. And so be on the lookout for that. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss that. I'm gonna be building my own acoustic panels to go on the walls. Hopefully that'll help with the weird little reverb slapback I'm getting in this room. And that should make these sound even better. So that'll be good. But they sound really good right out of the gate. On the back of the left monitor, there is a bass and a treble adjustment. So if you feel like the bass is too much, you can dial that back on the monitor itself to give you a little bit of acoustic control of the monitors and your room and the space you're in. And then in the same token, you can adjust the treble as well to make it brighter or less bright depending on the needs of your room. Now again, I'm not an audio engineer. This is my home studio, and for me, I think these are a perfect fit for now. I do want to upgrade these in the future with some better monitors, but for now, I think these fit the bill really well. They fit perfectly in this space and they sound great. Now, just a quick recap on the setup. One power cord gets plugged into the left. That gets plugged into your power source, and then you have the audio cable that runs from the left to the right. There's no other connections to the right monitor. This one just has the left and right audio from the left monitor over. And then in the left monitor, we have a left and right RCA in. It does come with an 1/8 inch to RCA aux cable, as well as an 1/8 inch to 1/8 inch aux cable that you can plug into the front. And then it has 2 1/4 inch inputs on the back. That's what I'm using from my Focusrite. Out of the outputs 1 and 2 on the back of the Focusrite into the left and the right of the monitor. And for me, that setup works perfectly. I'm excited to use these. I'm getting close to wrapping up an acoustic album project, and I'll be using these to mix down that album, so I'm excited for that process. If you've got any questions about these monitors or the home studio setup, throw those down in the comments below. There's a lot of videos, as I mentioned, around these monitors reviewing them, so I won't be doing a review of these monitors themselves. There's a ton of videos out there already, but if you've got questions around my setup here, throw those down. I'll do my best to answer them. Thanks for watching. Stay inspired and keep making that music.